What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the GodLogic Project. We're back again. I think this is episode number 9, I want to say. We've been doing this 9 weeks that we've been doing our Tuesday stream. So I want to say God bless you to everyone. Welcome to the stream, those who are familiar with what we do here. We got a treat. We allow Muslims to come on every week for hours to give us a reason to finally say our Shahada. That's what, me and my boy, my guy Chris Claus, we've been looking for a reason to say our Shahada. Him for years now, me just, for a little while. So, so welcome everybody, welcome. Welcome. It's good to see everyone here. God bless you all. God bless you all. Let's see here. We got CP is going to battle Shakes tonight, 8 p.m. Be ready. Oh, I'll be ready to see that. That's 5 p.m. my time, so that's good. We'll see if a Shake actually shows up to debate Christian Prince. I would love for a Shake to come on the show, to come on the channel and give us a reason to say, our Shahada. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting for that. I would love for it. I spoke to a Sheikh, but we all know how that went. We all know how that went when I spoke to a Sheikh. But it's good to see everybody. Darion, my guy, I see you in here, man. Good to see you. And you're watching from YouTube. Yeah, that's right. Guys, you guys need to check out Darion Doris. He's he does praise and worship. That boy can sing. He can sing, and he has a heart for the Lord. So, he's God is doing some things in his life, and I'm extremely proud of him. And man, I love that guy. I love him so much. But yes, it's good to see everybody in here. Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button. Make sure that you're sharing. If you're watching on Facebook or even YouTube, of course, please share the video so that the algorithm does us justice, because the people haven't been getting their notifications when I go live or post my videos and stuff like that. So they're trying to hide the channel already, man. I don't even know what I did, but they're already trying to hide the channel. So please help me out, guys, by spamming that like button and commenting and sharing your friends, so that people can see what we do here. You guys, I know you guys really enjoy it. You're here every week, encouraging me and pushing the channel and all these kind of things, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart. It doesn't go unnoticed. So let me go ahead and give you guys the link. This is for the Muslims. We're doing part 2 of Muhammad in the Bible. You guys can go Old Testament or New Testament. Last week, it seemed like it was a struggle sticking with just the Old Testament. So I thought I'd be nice today and kind of expand it a little bit and let them go to the New Testament as well. They can use whatever they want. Whatever they want to use, Old Testament, New Testament, they can use it. Or if they want to just drop that argument, I'm fine with that too. That's the ultimate goal, is to get them to finally stop quoting our Bible to try to support the most obvious, clear false prophet in human history, next to Joseph Smith. Next to Joseph Smith. But yes, so you guys keep on hitting that like button and sharing it, making sure that everyone is getting the notifications and things of this nature. I'm ready to see a new argument. I know I'm asking a lot, but I'm wanting the people to go away from the Dawa script. Like, can we get some new arguments, at least some new tactics and how to use these verses? At least, like, Can we see something different? Like somebody come on this channel and be unique, please. Like be unique, be different. You know, that's what I'm asking for. Is that too much to ask, guys? What do you think, Chris? Is that too much to ask for them to be unique and different with their arguments?
Wow, you just threw me right up there, quick. Hey, yeah, I think it's not too much to ask for.
We already got people just like already starting off negative. You won't see a new argument, bro. Dang, like, can you let me down easier than that? Oh no, I mean I do love truth, but my goodness, at least lie to me a little bit.
Now you may hear a new argument. Now, I've actually heard an argument from a Muslim that you may not have heard.
Really?
It could possibly be.
Can you share?
When was the last time a Muslim told you that Muhammad was the son of man in Daniel?
Now that actually would be new.
And even worse, they tried to go to Isaiah, or I think it's Isaiah. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it is, where Yahweh says there will be one crying in the wilderness, preparing the way for Yahweh. You do know that John the Baptist, or Jesus, I'm not sure who he says, prepared the way for Muhammad, of course, right?
Wait, so the one coming was Muhammad, and Jesus was the voice in the wilderness crying out?
You got it, sir.
Wow. So Muhammad is Yahweh. Wow.
That's what I asked him too, and he's like, no, I don't. But yeah, it's pretty out there.
Wow. Yeah, no one has used those with me. They have not used those with me. That is like a new level of desperate.
If you ever have a guy named Pedro in your channel or whatnot, hit him up. I'll try to message him on Facebook, and I'll try to get him on. Here, let me just see if I can do it now.
Okay. But yeah, that would be new for me, Chris. That would be new for me. Using the Son of Man. Oh, Sarah said she heard that one. That's crazy. I've never heard that, guys. Jesus was the one crying out in the wilderness, prepare the way for Muhammad. Momo.
Did I lose sound or something?
Yeah, were you talking this whole time? You're muted if you're talking.
I'll be right back. Maybe I lost sound.
I can hear you. Okay. Wow, he gets that together. Yeah, that's a new one for me, guys. I'll say, so DJ said, it would be fun comparing Joseph Smith to Muhammad on the street. You know what? And in that case, I will make an argument for Muhammad. I will try to prove that Muhammad is probably a more legit prophet than Joseph Smith. Would that be a tall task? I think it could be done. I think it could definitely be done. So we have, hey, my friend. He said, good afternoon, bro. When you get a Muslim here, please ask, has any other prophet been spoken to by an angel? Are there any verses in the Quran or Torah that explain how revelation would be given? That's a good question. And I think I'm going to have fun with that. Thank you for the arsenal, Jenkins. And thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. But yeah, when we get a Muslim on here, remind me to ask that question, because that's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a fun one. So we don't have our usual first time comers. I think Safraz retired. From coming on and trying to have these discussions. I don't know if he's taking a little break or if he's on vacation. But for the past, like, I want to say maybe 3 streams, he hasn't been here in the beginning. And I'm not mad at that. I'm fine. Jason Bourne. Avery, how do you plan to control Muslim trolling who post the same scripted comment? Avery believes in 3 gods. I mean, I just ignore those guys, man. Alonzo Harris, I ignore them, and I think you guys should too. These trolls literally do stuff for attention. So that's it. Thank you, Pope. Yeah, everybody pray for the stream. Pray for us all. Yeah, we can hear you, Chris.
That Alonzo guy, Alonzo Harris, he actually copied a troll's name. The real troll, Alonzo Harris, that's his question to everybody. And he'll say that you worship 3 gods, I worship 3 gods. He'll say it on everybody's YouTube page. So it's pretty ironic that Alonzo Harris said that in your chat.
He says it all the time. He does it all the time. So, I just don't pay attention to the trolls. They literally want what we're doing right now, talking about the trolls. Like, that's not what I don't do all that. But yeah, guys, we're hoping for some new arguments. We're hoping for some shahadas. We're hoping for something intriguing. I spoke to a Muslim last night. If you guys, for those who haven't seen the stream, and I asked the man. I said, "What is the reason why you believe the Quran was sent down?" You want to know what he told me? Because God said so. Because God said so. Now, to be honest with you, it wasn't a new one, but it's not a usual one that I hear. He would say that he believes in the Quran because God said so. And he had no problem using this circular reasoning. He's like, yeah, it's circular reasoning. God is my ultimate authority. God said so. I asked him, okay, so what about the Book of Mormon? God says that's his word in that book. Do you believe that? He says, no. I said, why? God says it. Why are you going against God? Because I just don't believe that God did that. So I don't know, man. I don't know why we get these type of Muslims, it's like the weird ones, man. We get the weird ones. Why don't we get the ones that are, hosting their YouTube channels, who are calling out people and all this kind of stuff? Why don't we get them coming to the panel? Do you ever get these people coming to yours, Chris?
I used to, until I got blackballed for most of them, which is probably what's happened to you. But I'm just wondering why EA Dawa or anybody like that, or somebody that isn't a huge channel, but have conversations. Ask Christians to come on a show. He's going to ask Christians to come on a show. Why wouldn't he go on a Christian show, especially one like yours, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I've been on that show about 4 times now. About 4 times having discussions in there. Friendly Muslim. That's where I met Friendly Muslim. And but Issa Dawa, the guy who hosts those streams, I never see him on a Christian stream. He only talks in streams that he has control over. Otherwise, he can't talk, because he could just kick you down when stuff gets too hard, So no different than Clubhouse. They're the same on YouTube. They're the same on Clubhouse. They're the same in person at Balboa. They're the same in Speaker's Corner. They're the same. They don't change, man. Anybody that actually has an iota of information when it comes to Islam, they will, like you said, blackball you. They will block you. They will not talk to you. Not really. Not in your streams, at least.
Well, look what happened with you with the shaky shake there. You can't talk to anybody down there. Look at that last video. Everybody saw the video. You were going up, you're talking to them, you're trying to start a conversation. They were just walking away, turning their head. They would just say one phrase to you, and that's it.
Yep. They wouldn't talk to me. They call me insincere. They say that I'm in it for the money, that I get paid by David Wood. I'm still waiting on that check. You know, we're trying to see, man. Somebody said Rock. Somebody mentioned JB mentioned Rocco, Chris. Oh man, it would be awesome to get a Quran only Muslim on here. You think that they will come and talk publicly?
I don't think so. You may get the odd brave one like Gemstone. Rocco definitely won't because it's not his. It's not his. It's not his room, right? He's not going to be able to control it, so he wouldn't. You may get the odd Muslima. That could be possible. They like you.
Yeah, but you might be right. I don't know, man. To get them on a stream, like it's hard enough to get them into our rooms, to get them out of their rooms to come talk to us in ours, get them out of their rooms. So I imagine it being almost impossible to get them on an actual stream. Like I think that would be a little bit too big for them. They do not go outside of their rooms. The one that I think that might be willing to do it with me at least is Brother Habib. I think Brother Habib will be down for a conversation on a stream.
I think you should bring Rashad on.
I invited him on. He challenged me to talk on the Trinity, right? I said, okay, let's do it. I said, you know what? As a matter of fact, why don't we live stream it? Let's do a live stream on my YouTube channel. And let's do that. Let's talk about the Trinity, because since you want to talk about the Trinity so bad, let's do it live. Avery, I am not here for your YouTube channel. That's not what we could do this right here on Clubhouse. My dudes, man, these dudes are jokes, clowns. They're clowns, man.
Rashad's either a Sunni or a Shia or a Quran only, depending on whose friends are in the room.
Depending on whose room it is. Depending on who he is surrounded with, he becomes that type of Muslim. He puts on that little hat. So, yeah, and it's funny because Ishmael was questioning him about it. He's like, yeah, I heard that you stick up for the Quran onlys, and so Rashad had to say just I am a Sunni Muslim and yada yada, but when there's no Sunnis in the room and it's just Quran onlys, man, you guys are amazing. You guys uphold the Quran, yada, yada, yada. I am Sunni, so I do hold a different view, but you guys hold to the Quran. You're my brothers.
He affirms their Quranic interpretations of it.
Right.
That's the sad part.
Any random Chris, I need you to show your camera. So that I can make sure that you're not a troll, so you can come on. Oh, how you doing? Oh, it's Sean. You're muted. Your mic is muted. You're muted.
Hey, how are you doing?
What's going on? Andy Random. Oh, it's Christian. Andy Random Christian. What's going on? Andy Random. Oh, it's Christian. You gotta mute the YouTube.
I done it. Yeah, cool.
I see.
You're right, Chris. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, good. Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
We're just waiting. Yeah, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
That's your question. I was just thinking, with the Hadith, you're talking about the Quran only and all that, and I heard Yasser Qadhi talking about, the so-called science of Hadith, quote unquote, and he says that no one actually gets it. It's so complicated. He says this in a clip on YouTube I saw, and so they say you have to go if you want to know the right interpretation. You know how they say you have to go to the people of knowledge or whatever. But then you end up going to that last. You keep passing the buck. Okay, he's the person of knowledge, etc., etc. And then, but you find that even the persons of knowledge, they don't actually agree with each other on the interpretation of those hadith and the authenticity and the complex change. And it's like quantum. It's like quantum field theory. It's like a massive science which nobody really gets.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is just if I find that clip, I'll. Yeah.
They have no substance, man. They have no substance, but at the same time, I can appreciate that they use the Quran. That's what I do find them interesting because they, to a certain extent, they uphold the Quran, you know, and they feel like the Quran is all they need, you know, which the Quran claims. So when they get into these arguments with the Sunni or Shia Muslims, all the Sunni and Shia Muslims are doing, and when they do it rightly, but what they're doing is showing that the Quran is insufficient. They're showing that the Quran lacks in a lot of these areas that the Quran-onlys believe that the Quran is fully capable of, you know? So it's a double-edged sword. You say the Quran, you stick with the Quran alone, you have things that are unexplained, you don't know how you got the Quran that came to you, and you know, things of this nature. You know, there's certain details that are missing when the Quran claims to be fully detailed about everything. And then on the other side, you're showing that the Quran is lying when it says it's fully detailed. It's wrong when it says it's fully explained, and it actually needs help from man and the Sahaba and the companions in order to even stand. So it's a double-edged sword in Islam, man. It's always an Islamic dilemma, always, all over the place.
And you know, another sad thing too about this hadith that everybody has, and it's like Muhammad said this, and somebody heard Muhammad say this, and things like that. Weirdly enough, there's a hadith that actually says from Muhammad's own mouth, "Do not write my words down. Only the words from Allah you write down." So why is there any hadith in the first place? And why is there even that hadith? Right? Like Muhammad must have been standing there, be like, "Do not write my words down," while the guy's standing right in front of him writing his words down.
Yep, absolutely. Which makes no sense. If you have you know, if you have a hadith saying don't write hadith, I don't know how this works for y'all, man.
Well, and the reason is because he didn't. Because in the hadith it says that he doesn't want it to be mixed up like the Christians. They don't want it. They don't want Muhammad's sayings being incorporated with Allah's sayings, which is
too late for that.
What we get.
Yeah, I'm saying too late for that, man.
I mean, there's a verse in the Quran which says that don't be reading hadith. I can't remember what exactly it is, isn't it? Because the Quran only is, they go to that verse. There's a verse in the Quran that prohibits hadith, isn't there? I can't remember exactly which one.
Yeah, it says the Quran is the greatest hadith.
Okay. And then it also says, which hadith would you follow after this? Like it asks that rhetorical question. So I guess they have a point. When they're reading the Quran, they have a point.
Oh man, they have a huge point. Because it says, don't read there's no other hadith better than this one. You shouldn't even need to read it. And the Quran says it's fully explained. Everything else, right? That it's clear verses. The Quran only's got a real big point.
Yeah. It's interesting. That's why I love going in those rooms. And I just hope that they get a Sunni Muslim in there to talk to them, but they don't have the temperament to talk about them because they are an extremely emotional group of people. Like you cannot, it's almost impossible to have a discussion with. There's literally probably 2 or 3 that I can count on my fingers that can have an actual conversation. But the others, we are reading the ayats of Allah. Do not interrupt the ayats of Allah. You're getting put down. These are the ayats of Allah, subhanallah.
Yeah, that's Rocco. I'm reading the ayats. I'm reading the ayats.
I'm about to bring out these ayats. Y'all be quiet. Y'all mute up.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm gonna refute you with these ayats right here. But you want to? I was just thinking, the Islamic God seems really weird, right? First off, Muhammad saying don't write hadith, and Allah saying don't read any of the hadith than this one. This is all you really need. But then Allah says you need to follow Muhammad, but don't read the hadith. What kind of game is Allah playing here with the Muslims, right?
Allah loves games.
Mm.
He's literally the Middle Eastern Loki. That's who Allah reminds me of. He reminds me of Loki. If they put Allah in a Marvel movie, I wouldn't be mad.
Well, I have a strong argument for Hubal being Allah. And it stems from Muhammad destroying all of the pagan idols that were in the Kaaba, and he spoke against all of these pagan gods except one. He never spoke against the supreme Allah of the Qurayshi tribe. Weirdly enough, the supreme Allah of the Qurayshi tribe during the youth of Muhammad, his name was Hubal. Hubal was the supreme Allah over all of the pagan deities in pre-Islamic times.
Wow. So that's new to me. I haven't researched that type of stuff yet. Now, that's interesting. What has a Muslim said to you? Have you presented that to him before?
It's almost like they just try to say it's an argument from silence. But if we logically think about it, right, and Muhammad speaking against all of these idols, it would only logically follow that he would condemn the biggest idol of them all, right? And so that, to me, I understand that it could be that there's no evidence for it, whatever, and you can't really prove it on that basis. And I accept that. But logically, I think that we can do that with a deductive argument. So I did work up a deductive argument for that. I just don't have it right now. I'm on my phone. But what I'll do is once I get home, well, I'm home now, but once I get time to get on my computer, because my wife is still in school yet for another 3 weeks, everyone pray for her. She just got her APCO certification. So nice. She needed an 85% to get her certification, and she got a 93. Subhanallah.
Oh, wow.
Praise God. But so yeah, she's got like 3 weeks left. So let's hope that she pushes through. She's also starting to work now because, of course, 3 years is a little hard, right?
Yeah.
Just me working. So she's got back out there. So she's contributing. We're getting things a little bit easier now. So yeah, just keep praying. So yeah, everything's going good there. But yeah, other than that, I don't even know what I was talking about.
I hope she gets it. I want to present something to you, Chris, because I think I was just going through some of these verses, and I think that we actually found a prophecy that clearly talks about Muhammad coming. Okay, and I want your opinion. Yeah, I want your opinion on this. I'm sure you've seen it a million times before, but it's not one that's often used as much as the others. But this one, I think they might have something here. Let's see. I'm gonna share my screen and show you something that not even you can deny. This is Isaiah 29:11. It says, "And the vision of all this has become to you like the words of a book that is sealed. When men give it to one who can read, saying, 'Read this,' he says, 'I cannot, for it is sealed.'" Watch this. "And when they give the book to one who cannot read, saying, 'Read this,' he says, 'I cannot read.'" Boom. There's Muhammad right there. The prophet that cannot read is mentioned in Isaiah chapter 29, verse 11. And what do you have to say about that, Chris Claus? Do you think that's a clear prophecy? I'm sorry?
Yeah, I think it is a clear prophecy of Muhammad if they wanted to use it. Yes.
Got him.
Especially when we get to the context of it.
The context, what's that? What is context?
Yeah, I know Muslims hate context, and that's why I would agree with them. As soon as they brought me this verse, I would say, yes, amen, this is about your prophet. And then we would go through and show them why it would be about their prophet.
What? No, man. There's no way that you're not allowed to do whatever this magic word context, whatever you mean by that. You can't use that. You just got to read the words that I highlighted. That's it. That's it, man.
Yeah, because the rest of the Bible is corrupt, right? Except apart from the word that you read.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We all know that. I mean, don't you know that?
Yes, verse
Got
13 is
him.
corrupt.
Yeah, but the Bible was corrupted until verse 10, and then verse 11 it became authentic.
Verse 12 really is where, like, depending on whatever arguments you guys bring up, verse 12 is the one that's authentic for sure.
Oh yeah. It's stopped being authentic at 11.
Yeah, so don't right. Don't bring up that cuss word context again. I gotta, I might get banned on YouTube, you guys using that type of profanity. I'm gonna have to like edit and put a beep in there every time you guys say context.
I always thought I was waiting for a Muslim to bring us. I think it's Galatians 1:8 too, isn't it?
And Galatians 1:8. The one about bringing the gospel. Hold on, you broke up a little bit. Or unless was that me?
Oh, sorry about that. I'd be saying amen. Galatians is about Muhammad.
Wait, so why are you guys running from this? This clearly talks about Muhammad when he was in the cave, when the angel Jibril told him to read and recite. He said, I can't read. And that's exactly what we're reading here. It says he's given the book to one who cannot read, and he replies with, he cannot read. What is your answer to this?
I agree.
You agree? Got him. So you got to say your shahada, man.
Yeah, I don't.
We'll be seeing you on EF Dawa next, Chris.
That's right. You're gonna be partnered up, sharing the streams with EF Dawa. Come on, man. What about you, Sean? What do you get? You like this verse as a prophecy for Muhammad?
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Very, my eyes are open.
See, there you go. And that's what we do here, guys. We at the GodLogic Project love to open minds, and open the hardened hearts so that they can see the truth. So I'm just waiting to hear both of you guys a shahada. Make sure that you recite it in Arabic.
I've been waiting.
Otherwise, it cannot be accepted.
I've been waiting because as soon as I turn Muslim, I'll go on the EF Dawa. I'll be on every high Muslim platform there is on YouTube. I'll be rich. I won't have to work anymore. I'll be able to quit my job and be an ex-Christian turned Muslim on YouTube. I'd probably get like 3 million subscribers and I'd be rich. I've been waiting for it. Just can't see it happening. But I'm not sure if you'll still be able to hear me. But can you still hear me right now, Avery?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
All right. So in Galatians chapter 1, verse 7 and 8, and this is where I would say amen, right? It says, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Christ. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let them be accursed. There's a clear prophecy about Muhammad. Clear prophecy about Muhammad.
Wait a second. That's Islamophobia. You cannot say that. You're just.
It's in the Injil. Hate. It's in the Injil, written by Bulus.
But you're just spreading. No, you're just spreading.
Hey, he was the third strengthened in Rome. Come on now.
But you're still just spreading hate. You guys cannot get over the fact that the book directly talks about the prophet being given a book that he can't read. because he cannot read. This is clear as day, man. This
Oh,
is
I think
clear as
Marion might be coming up live here to say the Shahada for you. Look at that.
That's what we're waiting on. She's also a known Islamophobe. So we're just waiting on, and righteous as well.
Marion is like in the top house of Islamophobes.
Yeah. So y'all got to deal with this. I found one y'all can't answer.
Like if they took over wherever Marion lived, and I don't even want to point out where she lives, but if they took over the country in which Marion lived, they would probably just kill her. They wouldn't even allow her to be a slave. She's that much of an Islamophobe.
They wouldn't even show her any mercy, huh? Well, Scott says, what's up, my big bros in the faith? God bless you. God bless you too, Mr. Scott Hughes.
What are you talking about, big bros? He bigger than both of us. He's our big brother.
No, for real.
And I mean, like he's big, like in a scary kind of big way. Like he looked like he could mess somebody up big. That's what he looked like.
Someone is saying that I'm giving the Muslims ammunition. I just gave them a new verse to use. Don't be afraid, Muslims. Please use Isaiah 29:11. Please use it in 12. Use that to prove that Muhammad, that it's prophesied in the Bible. Please do that. Because when you do, you get in a little bit of trouble there.
Come on. I was hoping that you were going to spell out Isaiah there so we could laugh at you.
All the shortcuts. Look, I got haters already on my panel. This is incredible, man. This is incredible. So the reason why Chris Claus and Sean were not impressed by this verse, ladies and gentlemen, is because when you look at the context, I know that's the cuss word we're going to use. I'm going to have to bleep it out later on. When you look at the context, it's talking about God sending his judgment on Israel and removing and taking away the revelation, that he will not be giving them the revelation anymore for a time while they're in their state of sin. And so he's saying this, and he for example, it says in verse 10, verse 9, astonish yourselves and be astonished, blind yourselves and be blind, be drunk but not with wine, stagger but not with strong drink. But for the Lord has poured out upon you a spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and covered your heads, the seers. So he is not giving any revelation to the prophets and the seers anymore because they are deep in their sin. And you'll see this. This is why he says, and the vision of all of this has become to you like, so he's describing it. He's describing this action like the words of a book that is sealed. When men give it to one who can read, saying, read this, he says, I cannot, for it is sealed. So God's taking away the revelation, or taking away even the understanding of a revelation that he will give, to where that they won't know what it even means. They can't understand what God is saying. And he's saying that is like giving a man a sealed book who can read, but it's a book that's sealed, so he can't read it. He will not be able to get to that revelation. Or it's like also when one gives the book to one who cannot read, saying, read this. And he says, I can't read. Right? So the revelation is being blocked. So if this is about Muhammad, that he is this one that the Bible is talking about, then the Muslims are saying that Muhammad was in sin and in rebellion against God, and so therefore God took the revelation away from him. And that's the reason why he cannot receive the revelation of God. That's why he cannot read the book. He can't read. He can't understand it. God took away the revelation. And it says, verse 13, and the Lord said, because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips, while their hearts are far from me, and their fear of me is a commandment taught by men. Right? So Muhammad, he honors God with his lips, but his heart is far from God. Muslims, do you really want to quote this as it being Muhammad? Therefore, behold, I will again do wonderful things with this people, and with wonder upon wonder, and the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the discernment of their discerning men shall be hidden. Yeah. So that'll be a tough one to try to use. We have another super chat from Scott Hughes. He says, it is building up to Isaiah 29:14. Is a prophecy fulfilled by Jesus in Matthew 11:25. They just don't know better. You're absolutely right. Jesus applies this to the Pharisees. So, all in all, guys, and for the Muslims who will watch this later, it is extremely dangerous for you to try to come up and quote these passages in light of the scriptures. Looks like we have a Muslim guest in the background combating disbelief. What's going on,
bro?
Hey, how's it going, Avery?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. So what are your thoughts on the subject?
You bring up some pretty interesting points.
Thanks.
The question I would like to ask is, who, according to your expert, I would say your expert explainers of the Bible in general, who are they saying these verses refer to?
Israel.
Okay.
Hey, combating, you still Muslim?
Of course.
Oh, sorry to hear, man.
Why? Wasn't Abraham Muslim?
No, not at all.
Do you know what Muslim means?
Well, if Abraham was a Muslim, then I'm a Muslim.
Well, we're talking about Abraham first. Was he a Muslim? I mean, we know he wasn't Christian, but do you know the definition of Muslim? Muslim just means someone who submits himself to the will of God, right?
SubhanAllah, I submit my will to the triune God.
But according to the definition of Muslim, wouldn't Abraham fit that definition?
So do I.
So Abraham was Muslim then?
So am I.
So you admit Abraham was Muslim?
As long as you admit I am as well.
Okay, so you submit yourself to the will of one God, then I guess you will be Muslim then.
Amen. I submit my will to the one God, the true triune God of Scripture.
But if you say one and then you say triune, it's contradicting each other, basically.
Not really, because Abraham would have said the same thing. Because in Abraham's time, which you don't know because you've read the Quran, but when we read about Abraham's time in Genesis 18 and 19, the Lord actually came to Abraham and spoke to Abraham. In Genesis 19:24, we see Yahweh rain fire and brimstone from Yahweh in heaven upon Sodom and Gomorrah, of course. So we see two distinct Yahwehs being mentioned in that verse. So Abraham did acknowledge that God was not a Unitarian being.
But what did Abraham call his people to?
The true one God that we follow.
Okay, so if someone would have come to Abraham and asked him, how do I get salvation? What would he tell them?
Through God. What he wouldn't tell them is to go to the Kaaba, because that's what we see in the Quran. We see that in the Quran that Abraham actually called people to worship at the Kaaba from all around the world. And that's just historically false. Abraham was nowhere near Mecca.
Well, according to the Quran, it says Abraham called his people to the worship of one God. But we know he didn't call his people. Like, for example,
He
if
called
someone
them
came to
though
Abraham,
at the
if someone,
Kaaba, correct, combative?
okay, hold on. But if someone came to Abraham and said, "How do I attain heaven?" He wouldn't say you have to say that your Lord is Jesus Christ, and you have to admit that he died and resurrected. He wouldn't say that, right?
I'm not sure what Abraham would have said back then. I
Well,
imagine
you
he
know
would
what
have
he said
received
that.
revelation from God to tell these people what to say at that point in time.
Okay, because look, Abraham, he was dealing with people who worship idols, right? So if someone came, he saw someone worshiping an idol, he would say, in order to get to
Well,
paradise, you have to
Abraham
stop
worshipped
worshiping
idols.
idols.
Abraham worshipped idols before he was a monotheist.
Abraham never worshiped idols, but the whole point of it is he wouldn't tell his people
Sure, he
you
did.
have to accept
As
Jesus as
when he
your
was a
Lord and Savior.
child, his parents were pagans. They worshipped idols. Do you not think that a pagan family would have their children doing the same thing?
They would try to, but the child doesn't have to follow his parents' orders if he told them to worship an idol. But my
So,
point is, he
at
would.
the time of Abraham, you believe that children didn't follow what the parents said? Come on, now it's not like
Well,
today. But anyway,
well,
get on to your point. We got a discussion today about Muhammad in the Bible. Please don't go to Isaiah 42. Is there anywhere else other than Isaiah 42 that Muhammad could be in the Bible, sir?
Well, I wanted his opinion on the one we read, Isaiah 29.
Oh yeah, read that out for him
where-
again.
Yeah, where we told him that it's talking about Israel. Did you have an objection to that, Combati?
well, I just find it very coincidental if it says that he will be told to read and he will say, "I can't read." And
Mm,
that story is the almost the exact way the revelation first came down to Prophet Muhammad, almost, per letter.
Mashallah.
mm,
Are you saying that's just a coincidence? I mean, that this happened just as a coincidence. I mean, if you put everything together, if you put
mhm,
Muhammad, his whole life, and how he was the most successful person who ever lived, what he
mhm,
accomplished, and he came and he taught the same message that all the previous messengers taught, which is to worship one God. He didn't differ with Abraham or Noah or Moses. He had the same message, to worship one
You
God.
get a lot. And
And if you put
Mana.
all this together, you saying this is all a coincidence?
Yeah. So, do you understand why the person was saying I cannot read? Who was given that book in Isaiah 29? Do you know why that was happening to that person?
Well, the verse it doesn't explain why. It just
It
gives you.
does.
Well,
It
weirdly,
says, it says that it says that God put him in a deep sleep and has taken away the vision of the prophets and the seers. So therefore, they will be. It's almost as if they're giving a book. A person given who can read is given a book that's sealed and they cannot read, while an illiterate person is given an unsealed book, but he can't read it. So
Yeah, and the
because God
Prophet
put
Muhammad
him
was
in a deep
illiterate. He was
sleep.
illiterate, and he was told to read, and he said, "I can't read." So those things happen
So you
just
agree
like
then?
themselves.
So you agree with the context then that the reason why Muhammad couldn't read is because he was a sinner in rebellion and God was casting his judgment on him?
No, of course I don't agree with that.
Well, that's what the text says, the context.
Can you put the verses on the screen?
Sure.
yeah, let's get them to read them.
So we can start at verse 10. You see it?
Yes.
So it says, "For the Lord has poured out upon you a spirit of deep sleep and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and covered your heads, the seers." So he's taken away the revelation from the prophets and the seers.
Do you agree with
Like,
that, combative?
well, can you go up to where it says it will be said read, and he will say, "I can't read"?
It's not
Yeah,
up, it's down.
yeah, it's right after this.
Oh,
But first, you see how God takes away the revelation from the prophets and the seers. You see that?
For the Lord has poured out upon you a spirit of deep sleep and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and covered your heads, the seers. And then the next verse says, and the vision of all this has become to you like the words of a book that is sealed.
But before we move on to the next verse, combating, I want to make sure you understand the first part so that we can continue. So you understand when he's closed the eyes of the prophets and covered the heads of the seers, he's taken away his revelation from the prophets and the seers. You understand that?
For the Lord has poured out upon you a spirit of deep sleep. They're not; these verses aren't really clear. It's kind of ambiguous.
What do you think
What
it
does the
means
next verse say?
And has closed your eyes.
The prophets. What does that mean?
Is the prophets, is that something that's a part of the verse, or is that just added as a way for?
That's part of the verse.
Okay, because it's in parentheses.
You know how when you read the Quran and you'll see a brackets in the Quran? It's the same thing here. It's just explaining what it's saying.
Okay. And covered your heads. Okay. See that part, I can't comment on that part at all.
Why?
It doesn't make any sense to me.
If you think it's Muhammad, it wouldn't make sense. But if you read this, what does, for the Lord has poured upon you a spirit of deep sleep and closed the eyes of the prophets. What would that mean if it wasn't about Muhammad?
To be honest, I would just be guessing if I said something. I don't know what that means. What I want to comment on is just the part where it says, when men give it to one who can read, saying, read this, he says, I cannot, for it is sealed. And when they give it the book to one who cannot read, saying, read this, he says, I cannot read.
Yeah, so you can't skip down to that and try to come up with an interpretation without reading the connecting verses, combating.
Yeah.
So do you see that verse 11 and 12 are in light of God putting a deep sleep over these people and shutting the eyes of the prophets and covering the heads of the seers? All of that is in light of that. You understand?
Yeah, but I think we're just shooting in the dark because we're just guessing. We're just guessing who this could be.
No, we're not guessing anything. We're not guessing anything. It's pretty clear for us. I don't know how it becomes rocket science for you all of a sudden, but for us, it's very plain and simple and explicit.
Okay,
A
so
deep sleep,
did you
close their eyes, they can't get the revelation.
I have a question. Did you study these verses from like someone who has like more knowledge than you, like at a university, from a professor, or are you just taking these meanings from your own understanding?
I've seen commentaries on it with people who are more qualified than me.
Okay, but are you qualified to give explanation for the verses though?
Yeah, because
I am,
because all I need is context. So
yeah, to give you an example, right? So if we as Muslims were just to take the Quran in English and try to get an understanding, we could do that, but if we didn't leverage our scholars, we would make a lot of mistakes because a lot of things they need someone with advanced knowledge to understand.
and that's unfortunate because the Quran says that it's a detailed explanation of everything and that it is itself its own tafsir, its own explanation. So you're proving to me that the Quran is a false book and lies about itself.
Well, no, not necessarily. It depends how you understand.
Does the Quran need tafsir, or can it explain itself?
Well, the Quran definitely needs tafsir because let me expound on that because you have
So you just proved that the Quran is a lie.
Let me explain. Right now we have about 8 billion people who live on this planet, right? Let's say just for example's sake, let's say everyone was Muslim. We had 8 billion Muslims on the planet right now, and they had a Quran in their hand. And everyone just took the Quran and got their own meaning from it. You have chaos because it depends on people's level of understanding, their level of knowledge.
You still have chaos, even though you guys use your tafsirs. You still have chaos. You have Sunnis against Shias. You have Salafis against Sufis and Asharis and Athari. You have chaos even within your sects, even though you have tafsirs, because you guys pick and choose the scholars you want to listen to. There's still chaos. So
well, to a certain extent, there's going to be chaos because this is the world we live in, and there's Satan, there's devils, and this is a part of our test being here on this planet. But what I'm saying is, if there was no scholars and everyone just took their own individual understanding, then no one would agree on anything, because a lot of these verses depend on
none of y'all do. Y'all don't agree on nothing. Y'all, I could pull up a video of the simplest question: where is Allah? Y'all don't agree on where Allah is.
Where you tell me, where is Allah?
You tell me. I don't know. When I read some of the scholars, I see above the throne, I see sitting on the throne, I see around the throne.
Okay,
next
so
to
you
the
tell
throne.
me if I ask
Third,
a Christian,
the lowest part of the heaven.
Hold on a second.
Lowest part of the heaven.
If I ask 5 individual Christians randomly, where is Jesus? You tell me they're gonna all tell me the same thing?
Yeah, they're gonna tell you he's in heaven.
Just wait.
Okay,
Go ahead. We've got 3 on the panel right now. You can start with Avery.
Okay, Jesus. Avery, where is Jesus?
He's in heaven next to the Father.
Where is heaven?
No. We didn't ask where Allah's throne is. We just asked where Allah is. You can ask us where Jesus is. And Avery said in heaven beside the Father. My answer is in heaven at the right hand of the Father, which would be beside the Father in just another word. Now, there is another person, I think, on here.
Yeah, I was going to say sitting at the right hand of the Father in heaven.
Okay, so let me ask
you asked one question to 3 Christians. We all gave the same answer.
Okay, who created heaven?
That's not. We're not going off, man. We're not shuffling off anywhere else.
It's related.
So do you see how we was able to answer where Jesus is, but you guys can't answer us where Allah is? Something as simple as that. So when we're going back to the point, you guys don't agree, even though you have your tafsirs. And to be honest with you, it's probably you guys having tafsirs and all that. It's probably made things worse.
You think so?
Maybe. There's no way of telling.
100%.
So
who do we accept? Ibn Abbas or Ibn Kathir?
Man. Or Ibn Hajar or Ibn Taymiyyah.
Well, I don't see how you look at it that way. I see it as a clear religion.
No, but competitive. You have to agree. When you read a Quran verse and you read, let's say, 5 tafsir from 5 different Sahaba, you will see at least 2 to 3 differences in the explanation of that one verse. Can you at least be honest and admit that?
Yeah, I can admit that.
How is that not confusion?
You can have 2 or 3 different explanations, and they could all be correct.
How is that not confusing?
I don't see it as confusing. I mean, okay, if you asked a Muslim, okay, how many gods are there? He says 1 God. If you ask a Christian, how many gods are there? He's automatically confused. He doesn't know whether to say 3.
No.
Whether to
he
say
says
1.
there is 1 God.
Well, I don't know about that. I've asked many Christians, and some Christians say.
You want to try these 3 in the panel again?
Okay, let's try these 3 in the panel. How many gods are there?
1 God, mate.
There's one, bro.
God.
Just one God.
Okay, there's 1 God. Everyone says 1 God, right?
Can you show us a Christian that says there's more than 1 God? We've never seen such a creature.
How about you?
We all know that's a lie, but we've strayed too far away from the text now.
Yeah.
We've let them shuffle us away from the text too much. So now coming back to this, we understand from the context it's not rocket science. The Lord poured out a spirit of deep sleep over the people, over the prophets, and closed their eyes and covered their heads. It's as plain as day. Okay. Then it goes into the people being given a book, but it's sealed, or they're illiterate and cannot read it because there is a deep sleep over them and their eyes have been shut. So they can't even read the book, regardless. Either it's sealed or they can't understand it. Do you
Okay.
believe that Muhammad fits that category where God has shut his eyes because of his rebellion and his sin, and God put a deep sleep over him?
Okay. Let me tell you what I honestly believe about this. Okay. So when I first heard about this verse, actually, I saw this verse when I first saw it. I saw it in Wikipedia when it had an article about how the verses that Muslims use to show that Muhammad's prophesied in the Bible. When I saw this verse, it didn't give me the verse that was before it or the verse after. It just gave me the verse that said, he'll be given a book and it'll be sealed and it'll be said read, and he'll
Exactly.
say I can't read. Okay.
We know, man. We know how those articles do. We know.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So when I saw that verse, I said, okay, to me, this is almost letter for letter the exact thing that happened to
Almost
Prophet
exactly
Muhammad.
what happened to Muhammad, huh?
Yes. So
Yeah.
now you're showing me these verses that came before it, after it, and I can't answer that. Obviously, I don't believe that, uh, that could apply to Muhammad. But my question to you is, if we take it verse by verse, verse 10, it says, "For the Lord has poured out upon you a spirit of deep sleep." What does that mean?
It means that God has taken away his revelation away from the Israelites. He's stopping his communication while they're in their rebellion as a judgment.
And has closed your eyes. What does that mean?
Yeah, the same thing. That's what what I said applies to this whole context.
So this is talking about the children of Israel after Moses. It's saying that he put them into a deep sleep. How long did that deep sleep last?
Not that long. Let's just show you a few more verses after. So verse 13, it says, "And the Lord said, because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips, while their hearts are far from me, and their fear of me is a commandment taught by men. Therefore, behold, I will again do wonderful things with this people, with wonder upon wonder, and the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the discernment of their discerning men shall be hidden." So we even have more details showing that these people are hypocrites, right? They honor God with their lips, but their hearts are far from him. And that the fear of God is a commandment of men. They're not using the scriptures, but they're coming up with their own traditions and teaching it as commandments of God, right? Equating it with the commandments of God. They were even doing that in the time of Jesus, and Jesus called them out for it. I think Jesus actually quotes this.
Okay. So if I was to if I was just to say that, okay, if I was to give you this argument and say that, okay, fine, these verses aren't referring to Muhammad, okay? So that still wouldn't prove that he wasn't the seal of the prophets, because there's other verses in the Old Testament, in the Torah, that allude to a prophet coming, and that's why the Jews who were in Medina were expecting a prophet to come, and they just thought that he would be from the children of Israel. And actually,
Okay.
there were several Jews who became Muslim because they knew that a prophet was coming, and plus he already passed the test that they had given him. Because when the pagans came to the Jews in Medina, they said, "Look, we have a man of ours who's saying that he's a prophet. Can you give us 3 questions?" And they said, "Sure. Here are the 3
Well,
questions."
specifically with that story combating, they said, "We're going to ask you these 3 questions that only a prophet would know the answer to," right?
Yes.
And so when Muhammad answered these questions, what was the Jews' response?
They said, if he's a prophet, he will be able to answer them, and he did. So that proved that he was a prophet. And
Wait.
plus, you had.
So wait, pause. I want to show you how stupid this is. If these questions are answers that only a prophet would know, how would these people who's asking Muhammad know if he got it right when they're not prophets themselves?
Well, if he was not a prophet, he wouldn't be able to answer the questions. He answered them.
He could just give a response. Anybody can give an answer. It doesn't make their answer right just because they open their mouth and start responding to a question. The question is, how do they know? How would they know that he got the answers right when they're not prophets? They said it themselves that only a prophet would know the answers to these questions. How do they know that he got those answers, that the questions right?
They would have to go back to those same Jews and verify that he got the answers right.
But how would they verify it?
They would go back to the Jews with the Quranic verses and say, this is what he said, and the Jews would either confirm or deny it.
How would they confirm it?
Were the Jews prophets?
Are you talking about the Jews?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the Jews had the Jews knew the answers, of course.
Were they prophets?
They know they were not prophets, but they had the answers in their books.
But they said that only a prophet would know the answer.
Right, because only a prophet would have the answer to the questions. The answers were in their book, in their books. Do you understand?
In their books. Yeah. Wait, what prophet revealed these answers that they to their questions?
They had knowledge from the time of Moses. Moses gave them the Torah, and they had other information from Moses.
Okay, so can you provide for me where Moses gave the answer to those three questions that they asked?
Yeah, no, I don't not even all three. Let's just go one by one, right? What was the first question that they asked? And can you please give us the answer from the Torah? I think that's fair, isn't it, Avery?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so they asked him about they asked him about Al-Khidr, a man who was a companion of Moses. So he gave them the answer to those questions. That's in Surah Al-Kahf. I don't have their books, so I can't give you the answer from their books where that same story was related. But obviously, if they told those pagan Meccans to ask these three specific questions, then they obviously had the answers. And that's not the only hadith, by the way. There's other hadith where they ask him, how does the baby resemble his father or mother? And he answered that question, and they confirmed that is in the hadith where they confirmed it. And not only that, you had Jews who actually became Muslim. Like,
can we pause here because this is really good. What was his answer when they asked him, how is it that a baby resembles its parent? What was his answer? What did he say determines the gender of a baby?
Well, I don't know if your audience is mature enough to hear the answer to that question, but
they're grown in here, 21 and up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it depends on the husband, whoever has even I'm shy to say this on live air, but
whoever came first, right?
Yeah, whoever orgasms first, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, okay, so there's so many ways I want to go at this, but just sticking with the first one, because we're talking about it, Moses confirming this. Can you show me where Moses said that the gender identity of a baby is determined by who has the first orgasm?
Yeah, neither I nor you have access to the books of the Jews, so I can't give you that answer.
But okay. All right, fine. Let's go the other route then, the fun route. Is it true that whoever orgasms first is what determines the sex of a child?
Well, there's two explanations. One explanation is the sex. Another explanation is the how the baby resembles either the mother or the father.
Yeah, it's talking about if the baby comes out as a boy or a girl. That's what the question is.
Yeah, or another explanation is how does he resemble either the mother or the father?
No,
Yeah,
it's talking about gender, bro.
yeah, it's talking about the gender. Let's not
Come on,
get
man.
around it.
Okay. So yeah, according to Revelation, then that's truly the case. It depends on
Really?
whoever has the orgasm first.
You believe that?
Oh, of course.
When science going to catch up to the Quran?
Well, you have to understand, science is independent from Revelation. Science has nothing to do with how we are supposed to believe, not just Muslims, but Christians as well. It doesn't have anything to do with what science says, because we already had the Jews confirm this, and we know that Abdullah ibn Salam was a Jew and he became Muslim, and he knew the book better than me, you, or Avery, so he must have known that a prophet was going to be coming to that land at that time.
Yeah, combating, tell us how you use this as a proof of Muhammad's prophethood. The fact that he answered this question with something that is not yet confirmed by science. So why does this convince you that Muhammad is a prophet? Is this one of the reasons that you're a Muslim, that you saw
Okay, again,
this hadith?
science has
No,
nothing
no,
at
no,
all
no,
to do.
no. I'm asking you, if this is one of the reasons why you're a Muslim, then just explain to us why you were convinced by this particular hadith of Muhammad. Is this one of the reasons that you're a Muslim? This particular,
Because yeah, as a Muslim,
this is one of the proofs that you use to convince yourself?
are you gonna let me answer?
Explain the mental process here.
Are you gonna let me answer? Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm done. Yeah.
as a Muslim, we have to believe in the prophets and the revelation that was given to them.
That's not
And
my question. Did you hear my question? Because you interrupted my question.
I heard your question. You're
Yeah,
saying
my
how?
question is, you read as a hadith, isn't it? Muhammad was asked a question about what determines the gender of a child, and he gave, supposedly a answer that only a prophet would know. And so you think that this is a proof that Muhammad is a prophet, right?
Of
So
course.
so just explain that thought process, that why does this answer impress you? Just tell us why it impresses you, because so that we want to feel impressed, right? We want to share your feeling.
Well, okay. I was
Yeah, so
trying.
it just impresses because none of us here is impressed. So just explain to us why you got impressed by this.
Okay, I'm trying to answer you. If you let me answer.
The first time you interrupted me, you never heard my question.
I
I hope.
heard your question. You
Yeah,
asked me how I can believe it. You say, how am I impressed?
No.
answer?
Yeah, because obviously, you need to be impressed to accept a religion, right? Or to accept a prophet. You're not going to accept someone that you're not impressed with, right? So for some reason, this answer that Muhammad gave, that whoever orgasms first, the child is going to resemble that person. This answer seems to have impressed you. I mean, am I right in saying that? Or you're not
Yes.
impressed? Yeah. So
Yes.
tell us why you found that impressive.
I found it impressive because the Jews who have knowledge of Moses and his revelation, they asked him a question and he answered the question correctly, which means he must be a prophet. Now, my question to you is, let me ask you a question.
How do you know? No, how do you know that it's the right answer? Just
Exactly. How do you know that that's the right answer, man?
Because
it sounds pretty absurd to the rest of us, right? Because we know that it sounds pretty ridiculous. I'm not being offensive. It sounds ridiculous.
It's absolutely. Hold on. I won't sugarcoat. I won't sugarcoat. It's absolutely ridiculous because we know what determines the sex of a child. It's your chromosomes, whether you are double X or an XY, and it's the man who in his sperm. That's what determines it. If he's given another X or if he's given a Y chromosome, that's what determines the sex of a child.
That's very
not
interesting.
who has an orgasm first, bro.
Okay, what prophet revealed that the X or Y chromosome determines the sex of a child?
It's science. It's what we know.
Oh, I didn't know science was a prophet. Okay, so what
we know.
Okay, that's not the answer to my question. My question is, what prophet revealed that? Because we, as people of religion,
it's what we know.
So basically,
hold on. We're not atheists here. We follow religion.
The only way we can know anything is through revelation, right? What prophet revealed? Okay, let's go with that. What prophet revealed that 2 + 2 = 4? Show me that in scripture, please.
That's not religion. That's not going to get me to heaven. My question to you is,
what?
Hold on, listen. You can easily defeat my argument by telling me, what did Jesus say determines the sex of a baby?
What did Muhammad say about 2 + 2 = 4? Or Moses?
That's irrelevant.
Or Abraham?
That's irrelevant. If you're going to tell me, it doesn't matter.
Wait. How is it irrelevant?
Hold on.
How is it irrelevant?
You guys are getting emotional. You're saying, well,
How is it
science says
irrelevant,
this.
bro?
I'm asking you, if you're going to tell me that this is ridiculous and this is laughable,
How is it
then
irrelevant?
just tell me what did Jesus say?
How is it irrelevant?
I'm
2
doing
plus
such
2.
a good job
You
staying
said,
muted, Avery.
2 plus
You
2 is
are.
4,
I'm
right?
very proud of you, Chris.
You said 2 plus 2 is 4, right? That's irrelevant to our conversation. My question to you is,
No. How is my response to you, my counter argument, by asking you which prophet revealed that 2 plus 2 equals 4? How is that irrelevant to your argument by you asking me, well, which prophet revealed that sex is determined by your chromosomes? How is my question back at you irrelevant?
because I didn't say we have to have a prophet to tell us each and everything about science.
So then why
mathematics.
are you demanding me to give you a prophecy or some prophet revealing how chromosomes work when you just said that prophets don't reveal everything?
Because I want you to tell me how you know this is not the case. If you're saying this
Science,
is not the case,
I'll tell you. Through study and science, this is how we know how chromosomes work. That's your answer.
Has science ever been wrong before?
It has been wrong before, but it's not wrong about this.
Okay, so it's not an exact science. My question
It's exact about this. It's exact about this.
That's what you say. But in order for
it's literally what the evidence shows, bro.
No, in order for you to counter an argument from someone who says it's a prophet, you have to bring a proof from another prophet.
We do. We have no. Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry I cut you off. Please say that one more time.
Okay, if you're going to dispute something that a prophet said, you can't come from the pocket of science. You have to come from the pocket of, okay, well, we have Moses who said this, or we have Abraham who said this, and that totally contradicts what your prophet says.
Where do you get this? Where do you get this from? Where do you get this from?
Because
what prophet told you that you can only refute a prophet with another prophet?
Because a prophet comes with knowledge of the unseen, correct?
Where do you? I didn't ask that. I asked you, where did a prophet tell you that a prophet is the only way you can refute another prophet?
Where did a prophet tell you that science can refute something that a prophet says? I can ask you the same question.
Do you see how stupid your argument is?
I asked you the same question. Where does the prophet say that science can
I'm using you don't even know that I'm using your bad argument.
If someone comes who claims to be a prophet, if science contradicts him, no, he's not a prophet. What prophet said that? That makes no sense, because science and science in and of itself.
This is combating disbelief, ladies and
that's
gentlemen.
An argument that hold on. Science is an argument that the atheists use. The atheists use the same science to say that the flood could never happen. The scientists say that it's impossible. That hold on. Let me finish. Yeah. Science says it's impossible that a man can put every type of animal on an ark, and then that ark can save all that.
Where? Show me that.
So you're telling me that the atheists believe in it?
I just said, show me that. Atheists don't constitute science. There's Christian scientists. There's Muslim scientists. They're not science, bro. Do you know what science is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so show me where you're getting this. Show me the science that says that these different types of animals can't be put on an ark. Show me the science that says that there can't be a global flood or even a local flood. Show me the science that says that.
Yeah, the scientists say that the flood could have never happened.
Show me.
This is what science says.
Show me the science.
You want me to give you the textbook that we read where it says that the flood could have never happen, or the science?
Sure.
Let's pull up Neil deGrasse Tyson. Pull up him and pull up the story of what he comments on about the flood and see what he says. For example, he's one of the top scientists of the world right now, and see what he says about.
Do you know what his field is?
Yeah, physics.
Okay. All right, bro.
You've got. If I just
I was going to quote Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever his name is. He's an expert when it comes to baseball, apparently as well.
But you get my point, though. My point is, you can't refute something that a prophet says by science. Something that
Yeah, but why did you accept it, combating? The question is not why we're refuting it. Why did you accept it? Because he could have said pretty much anything, right? If you had said that if the father drives up in a red car and parks on the right side of the road, then there's going to be a boy, and would you still have accepted it? So, like,
Well, it's not just me who
what's your
accepted it.
criteria? You've got very
also-
stringent. You've got very stringent criteria for refutation. What's your criteria for acceptance? He could have said literally anything. I mean, he asked him, "What's the first meal in heaven?" And he said it's like chicken liver or fish liver. I mean, he could have said chicken tikka, right? And
He should have said sweet and sour salmon.
Yeah, or he could have. So, like,
Yeah, my point.
Bacon and tomato.
It's not just me
Woo.
who's accepting this. It's also Christians in the time of Muhammad, like the Negus of Ethiopia, for example, like Salman al-Farsi, who were Christian and they became Muslim. And we also have examples of Jews like Abdullah ibn Salam who became Muslim. So it's not just me. This is something that anyone who knows the scripture, they know that the Prophet Muhammad, he fulfilled all the signs of prophethood.
So we want to know how do you verify that he was right about this?
Yeah, mate, you're making a bandwagon fallacy just because somebody else is a Muslim, so you're a Muslim. So, I mean, you need to tell us your verification criteria, mate.
Yo, is that really a name of a fallacy?
Yeah, bandwagon fallacy. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Well, it's like I said, the Prophet Muhammad didn't say anything. He didn't say anything different than what Abraham said, than what Noah said, what Moses said. They all.
Yeah, he does. He does say something different because Abraham, Moses, Noah never said the answer to the question that he was asked. So Muhammad did say different things other than any other prophet. No other prophet in history, no other human in history ever said what your prophet did about how a boy is a boy and a girl's a girl.
Well, you don't know what Moses said about that subject, though.
Can you show us what he said about it?
No, I'm saying you don't know what Moses said.
Can you show us?
I don't know. I don't have the books.
We
but I'm
know
saying,
he didn't say it.
No, you don't know he didn't say it because the Jews confirmed. He said the Jews, the followers of Moses.
What Jews?
Said the followers of Moses, Jews, at the time of Muhammad. In
the time of Muhammad?
After 610 AD, okay, they were closer to the time of Moses than you were. And they had
what did they use to verify Muhammad's answer?
Their books. They had
knowledge.
What books?
Yeah, thank you.
And we don't have access to all their books.
So what books would they have used?
But we do know they confirmed his answer. Didn't
wait,
they?
so wait, what book did the Jews have during the time of Muhammad? What was it called?
They had the Torah, of course.
What is the Torah?
The Torah is the book that was given to Moses.
What does it consist of? What is it made of? What's in it?
Well, according to what the Bible, according to what we have of the Bible today, the first 5 books are supposed to be the Torah.
So Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. That's what the Torah is, correct?
Well, according to what we have today, that's what they say the Torah is. That doesn't mean that what they had back in that time was the Torah. Because they had the book that was in the original Hebrew language, and they had and their book was less corrupted than the book that.
Interesting. Okay, no problem. So Chris, quick question: how far does our Old Testament go back that we have today?
Depending on which one. Go ahead.
Do they go past the 7th century?
Like Muhammad's time?
Yeah.
Way past it.
Okay. So the Jews was using, at least in the 7th century or even before that, were using what we have today?
Yes, sir. People actually would acknowledge that the Jews did a Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible. Roughly at least, I think 300 years. We have the dating of it too. 300 years before Muhammad.
2nd, 3rd century BC. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So
then we got Dead Sea Scrolls. We got Dead Sea Scrolls as well, which is. Yeah.
So we have what they would have been using, correct, fellas?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have what they would have been using. We have what they would have been using at the time of Jesus. We have what they would have been using at the time of David. I can be solid and firm enough to say that we even have what they would have had at the time of Isaiah.
Interesting. So we have what they would have been reading, what they would have been using in the 7th century: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, the writings of Moses. Where in the writing of Moses do we ever find him giving the same answer that Muhammad gave about what determines the sex of a child combating disbelief?
Okay, I don't think you understand a very critical point here, which is that the knowledge of Moses is not confined to the Torah. He also spoke to his followers, and those were passed down as oral traditions.
Yeah,
And it
Really?
also could have been written down.
we got the
as well.
Talmud, we got Mishnah. You can quote from any of those.
I'm sorry?
We got the Talmud, right? So you can quote from the Talmud if you like.
I didn't say the Talmud was part of that knowledge. What I'm saying is there were oral traditions that could have been written down as well into books, and all of this information is not available to you.
That
But
is
I'm
the Talmud.
confused though. Time out. No, time out. I'm confused. You said that the Jews would have verified Muhammad's answer in the books that they were reading at the time. You said books. You didn't say anything about oral transmission. You said that this answer was in the book that the Jews was using and reading from at the time, which you also said was the Torah, which you then also said is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. So we're supposed to find it in the book according to you. So are you changing that answer now?
No, I'm not changing the answer. What I'm saying, you don't have access to all those books, is what I'm saying.
But you just affirmed that we have access to the books.
No, I said his knowledge is not confined to the Torah.
But you
A
said that
rabbi-
we have.
how
You
does a-
said
how
we
does a
have the
rabbi
Torah.
become a rabbi? A rabbi
You
becomes
said
a
we have the
rabbi.
Torah. I'm confused. You said that we have the Torah.
Yeah, but someone doesn't pick up the Torah and become a rabbi. A rabbi becomes rabbi because he.
What does
goes
that
through
have to do with
extensive-
anything? You said that we
I'm
have the
trying to
book that
explain.
they
He
were
goes
using.
through. A rabbi goes through extensive training and learning to become a rabbi. It's not just his knowledge is not
You wanna-
confined to what is
this is
in the.
why you were on timeout from the channel, man. This is why.
Oh, I didn't know
This
that.
is why you were on timeout from the channel. Because, bro, you're very inconsistent. And I think that you deliberately play dumb. I do. I think that you purposely, deliberately act stupid in these discussions. And it gets to a point where you even have Chris on silent. Chris doesn't even feel like talking to you anymore.
If I said something that's not understandable, just ask me to explain it. I know.
We do not need any more explanation. Oh God, no! Please no! Please no! Stuck for the law. Stuck for the law. No more explanation. Stuck for the law. We're good here. But thank you for joining the conversation. But I think it's a good point to close it out. It's a good point to close out this conversation. But yeah, thanks for coming on, bro.
All right, my pleasure. Anytime.
All right.
I'm so happy he's gone.
No shahadas?
Like, he wasn't even teaching Islam. He was teaching combative Islam. Like, it's his own version of Islam, really.
He was teaching what, Chris?
Combative Islam.
Oh man. Guys, I apologize if that went on a little bit too long for you all. I was entertained for a little while. But you know, it does come to a point where all right, it's like, all right, that's enough. That's enough. You know. So we have Muhammad saying that gender is determined by whoever orgasms first. It's not based on their chromosomes, the XY chromosomes. No, scratch that. It's about whoever orgasms first. That's how you became a boy, Chris. That's how you became a boy, Sean.
Yep.
That's how you, Marion, became a woman. That's how you guys, because one of your parents, Chris, your dad had an orgasm first.
Don't go there, man.
I feel bad for my mom, but I'm proud that my dad did it. Just saying.
Oh my God. Y'all, welcome to Islam, man. Welcome to Islam.
I don't know how you didn't know that, Avery. Didn't you hear combative teaching his combative Islam in here? He actually said that this was in the Torah at the time of Moses, Avery. It was there.
That's what he said. And I just wanted to see it. I wanted to see where Moses confirmed this such a teaching, such a profound revelation, you know. Because you can only use a prophet to refute a prophet. That's also a good slogan right there. Thank you, combating this. I'm gonna give you if I get a t-shirt like that, I'm gonna give you a percentage on that. You can only use a prophet to refute a prophet.
That makes no sense.
Hold on.
We need scientific miracles in the Quran. They mean nothing anymore.
No, absolutely not. You can't use science to prove the Quran. You can only use a prophet to prove the Quran.
Yeah, where did Moses say that the sun doesn't set in a muddy pool? Show me.
Exactly.
Yeah, Moses never said it.
Moses never said it.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know if it was a secret teaching of Moses. The sun sets in a muddy puddle. So yeah, go.
Oh my gosh! Hashtag combat Islam. Combat Islam. Oh my gosh, Chris, that's funny. Hold on, I need to get this. I need to get this on here so that they can we can get a close up on this. You can only refute a prophet with the prophet. Make sure I'm pointing at the camera when I say that. All right, ladies and gents.
Yep.
I think that's. Do we have any other Muslims in the chat that feel like they can represent Islam a little bit better? I'm going to give you a few minutes to join up and have a conversation.
Can I talk to your chat? I just want to say that you have an awesome chat out there, man. I think everybody's awesome out there. Prayers and God bless everybody in the chat. We have an awesome Christian community when it comes to the chat. They call out these trolls quickly in the chat and everything else. They don't let them get away with anything. I love our chats.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, our people are awesome, man. Our people are awesome. It looks like, let's say, I'm not following this stream. We'll have to rewatch it. Mohammad Saeed. Is that the same guy from Clubhouse? I hope it's not. Mohammad Saeed, Chris, the one that keeps trying to debate everybody.
No, that's Mohammad Adil. That's trying to debate everybody on Clubhouse.
Yes, you're right.
But he does debate Islamic topics, so I got to give him that.
Sure, it is courage. Yeah, so there's the link, my Muslims in the chat. If you're here, give you a few minutes if you want to join up and, give us the truth of Islam and hopefully get Sean and Chris to say their Shahada. That's what we're doing this for.
Oh, yeah, we're waiting for it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Just remember, you can only refute a prophet with another prophet. I love it. I'm never going to forget that.
It's like prophet combat.
Exactly. Combating prophet. Combating prophets. Oh my goodness. All right, going once, going twice. All right, looks like we're going to end the stream here. We got love from Australia. God bless you. God bless you. This is a good time to end the stream anyway. I want to start getting the streams down to about 1 hour and 30. So this was good in my eyes. Any last words, Sean and Chris?
Thanks for having me on, and yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for having me on yet again, my brother Avery. Hopefully we'll be back on my channel sometime this week, maybe this weekend coming up. And for anybody who has not hit that like button, you secretly kiss black stones.
We're unto you all. We are unto you all. And so I just want to say God bless everyone for coming on the stream. We appreciate you every single time. From the bottom of my heart, I love you all. God bless you. And remember to stay strong in the faith, to stay prayed up. And in these discussions, you can only refute a prophet with another prophet.
Amen. God bless you. Thanks.
Take care, guys.